You are listening to the Atlanta Real Estate Forum radio show, all about Real Estate Edition, shining a light on the movers and shakers in the real estate industry, the home builders, developers, realtors, and suppliers making it all happen. And now, here are today's hosts.
Good morning and welcome back to the All About Real Estate Edition. I'm your host, Carol Morgan, joined by my co-host and friend, Todd Schnick. First, we'd like to kick things off by thanking New American Funding for being our 2021 show sponsor, our 11th year on the air. As always, it is going to be a great year with them as a partner. And then I just have to, say this. I'm sorry. Happy birthday to me and the show. Happy birthday to me and the show. Because you know what? My birthday's on the 9th. So we're getting pretty close to that. And the show's anniversary is on the 11th. We won't talk about which one's older. So, yeah.
11 years on the
11
show.
years. Isn't that crazy?
We didn't know. We had just gotten electricity back then. I mean, and now we're on Zoom. I mean, it's lots happened in these 11 years. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. And while we're roasting me and I'm trying to be a big girl and taking over the intro to the script, it's really kind of funny. If you'd asked me to do this 11 years ago, I would have told you were crazy. I'd probably screamed and run. So, yeah. Anyway,
might not have finished year one if we had done it that way.
We probably would not have finished year one. And our guests would have known how awkward that really would have been 11 years ago. So, anyway, happy birthday to us. And I don't know about you, Todd, but I am really looking forward to today's conversation. This is a topic that is just hot in the market, and it's with one of our favorite return guests. So with no further ado, I'd like to welcome Jim Jacoby with Parkland Residential. He is the president of that organization. So Jim, take a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, first, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes. We're celebrating all month.
Well, I'm proud to be part of the celebrations. Thank you for including me in it. It's all pleasure of mine. And thank you for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. And kind of help us get the word out of all the many good things we have going on here. So we've been working hard. 2021's been a hard year for us so far. We've really put together a lot of new projects and really excited to start making some announcements coming soon of some new projects coming to the market. We have right now currently, collectively, we have about 1,900 lots in the works at the moment, of which about, I would say, almost 1,000 are kind of in active process right now that we have working with in permitting or development and are almost completed permitting and development. And we also have, of that, we have about 917 are future communities that are in the works right now, kind of starting off the process and coming through. So we're really looking forward to 2022. It's going to be a good year for us and excited. But the big news is that out of that, 465 units that we have in the works right now are slated for build to rent. And this is going to become an even much larger part of our business moving forward. And we're really excited about kicking off these new build-to-rent communities.
That's very, very exciting. Congratulations on that new endeavor. In fact, that's where I wanted to go next. What inspired you to go down this path?
I started working on my first project, which is called Sweetwater Springs, and I started working on it in November of 2018. It doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but that's when we put the land under contract and we started going down the road and exploring the alternatives of build to rent. In 2018, build to rent really was not as hot as a topic as it is today. And even furthermore, finding financing and for them was even much more challenging. So I felt like I was pioneering a little bit with the project and especially the product that we created for the project. But now we've gone through it. It's almost completed construction. Our goal is to be completed in construction kind of December or January timeframe. We'll have everybody will be moved in, community will be done, and we'll be fully rent stabilized. So we have now experienced a project from start to finish. We've gone through zoning, development, lease up. We'll eventually start wrapping up permanent financing for the long term, which all of my projects will be portfolioed. We will own them perpetually. And so I really wanted to learn every aspect of the business before we really jumped in. Now I feel like we've got a great understanding of it. We know our product, our cost, and we kind of know the ropes on the build-to-rent market. So we are now really going to launch it in a much more substantial manner.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, you have a lot of units slated for build-to-rent, that's for sure. And then, everything else that you've got under development. I know you've been super busy this year. And on top of that, your first project, Sweetwater Springs, as you mentioned, in Lawrenceville, was a huge success. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
It was. It really exceeded our expectations. I thought we kind of held out before we opened up renting. And we wanted to get our first building almost completed before we even opened up renting. We had our release with our decorated model home. But to our surprise, we pre-leased everything within 90 days. All 58 units were 100% pre-leased within 90 days. And that was shocking. And in that 90-day period, we raised rents 10% in that 90-day period. And so, but it just really proves just the surplus of demand that exists for missing middle housing. In fact, before we opened, we had a waiting list of 50 people on the waiting list. Today, we're fully leased. We now have a waiting list of 200 people waiting that if somebody drops out, they want to rent one of our townhomes. So we're very encouraged that our product and our pricing to market is spot on. And so that's really what's encouraging and driving our future growth into build-to-rent.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the success of Sweetwater Springs. I get amused because I've spent 11 years co-hosting a show where we talked about home builders and we have sponsors that are mortgage companies, and yet I'm a renter. My wife and I have been renting, since we've been married, which is 10 years soon. So more and more people are doing that. Why? And what does your typical renter look like? What's the profile?
That's a great question. And a lot of people that are renting from me could easily qualify to buy homes. I think one is they're choosing to rent, kind of like you. You're a trendsetter. You're renting for it's more cool, right? And so they're just choosing to buy homes, and or there's just nothing out there available that they prefer to buy at the moment. But my renters, and I was really pleasantly surprised by the demographics of our renter. Our average income across all 58 units is $113,000 per household. Our median credit score was 652, and our average age of our primary tenant is 40 years old. So it kind of it's not expecting that. We're well encouraged, but we just weren't expecting such good quality tenants moving in.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. It is fascinating. And I think it does probably make Todd your typical, it's interesting. You just don't think of, people who are affluent and are, well into their careers and, financially really stable as out there renting. You think of them as out there buying. And I think we've had a whole shift in the market of people who they want to live where they want to live. And, kind of like we see the popularity of, the condos and the townhomes that have all that, HOA maintains so that the, owners don't have to maintain any of that. I think it's some of the same things. People don't want to have to worry about anything, I'll change the light bulbs and I'll clean it, but that's all I want to do, So
I'm not even allowed to change light bulbs in my
that's
place,
awesome.
So. Jim, question on this subject. I think this trend was moving this direction anyway, but how has the pandemic impacted this trend? Has it exacerbated it? Has it slowed it down, made it faster? What are your thoughts?
I think there's a lot of truth to people moving out of big cities and moving out to the suburbs, and even people moving from cities that were on severe lockdown. We have 3 tenants in our community that moved from New York City.
Wow.
Sweetwater Springs. And they leased and viewed everything and leased everything online, never saw the unit until the day they moved in. And that's just 3 examples. We have several examples of people that moved from out of state directly to our units, a lot from the Northeast. So I do believe, and from in-town Atlanta. So I do believe there's a lot of validity of people moving from the urban environments to suburbs.
Yeah.
That has really helped us the pandemic's helped us, to be honest. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting. I always call the pandemic a force magnifier because I think it takes anything that was moving in a direction and just pushed it faster. But yeah, out of curiosity, do you see that some of your renters have sold their homes because they decided to sell when it was up and just pocket that money and wait to get back into the market, at a future date? So they've sold something and now they're renting instead of buying?
We had just a couple examples of that, but not many because all of our units were pre-leased so far out in advance. So right. We did have a couple examples where people had sold and they actually moved in with relatives waiting for this to come available. So, but we didn't have too many of that just because our timeline rent to move-in date was pretty big gap since everybody was pre-leasing before construction.
Right. Huh. Makes sense.
Are you ready to own a home, but don't know where to start? Speak to a local expert at New American Funding. Get pre-qualified and start looking for your dream home. They make home buying easy and convenient with a variety of home loan options. New American Funding is devoted to helping families finance their home because they want everyone to achieve the American dream, home ownership. New American Funding's technology is what sets them apart. Whether connecting with your home loan professional in person, online, or through the app, they are there to answer any questions. Call today to get pre-qualified. For more information, call 678-898-3540. That's 678-898-3540.
You said the term missing middle project a little while ago, and you position a lot of your product that way. What exactly is a missing middle project? Tell us what that is and where that's going.
In my opinion, missing middle is anything that can get affordability back into the market. So whether my product that is at Sweetwater Springs, we built a stacked townhouse, which allows us to build more affordable and pass those rents down. Or it could be a separate, mother-in-law suite, or, behind the house or carriage house that's now converted. It's anything that can really introduce affordability into the market. And that's really what we have. Our whole company, Parkland Residential, is focused and centered around the missing middle and providing that housing because it is becoming so much harder with land costs. They are development costs, especially. I mean, the price of ductile iron pipe is just going through the roof. And with development costs, and especially building costs just going up, it is really becoming so hard to build to affordable entry-level homeowners. And so by me focusing on the missing middle and providing housing for that, I believe I have a really large audience needing the housing for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Todd, if you look at it historically, missing middle would be, take maybe Virginia Highland or, Kirkwood or some in-town area, and you would have, a townhome that might look like a single family home next to another home that looks like a single family home, but is actually apartments, next to a home that is a single family home, but has a mother-in-law suite behind it. So, all of the home types were mixed up, and a lot of the zoning, kind of precludes that from happening now. But that's exactly what, for the people who want to live in the neighborhood where they work, having that affordability means you've got to have more density. So that's what Jim's, helping to do with this new product. And you're seeing more and more of it nationwide. It's really quite cool. But it's a great segue into what's unusual about Parkland Residential's townhome floor plans, because I think this is a huge play, and this is what's made them so popular, and this is part of the reason that they address missing middle so well.
Well, I'm glad you asked. We have created a stacked townhouse product that is very unique and different in the market. And our stacked townhouse product, each unit has one car garage. But instead of, as the trend in apartments today is how small can they build apartments in the smaller. In fact, we just did a market study. And one of the apartment complexes we studied, their 2-bedroom unit was 976 square feet. And that's just getting so small. So we went the opposite direction. Which, we have really included numerous upgrades throughout our residences. So all hard surface cabinets, stone countertops, LED lighting throughout, LVP flooring in all the major rooms. And so we've really kind of gone above and really focusing on providing the luxury upgrades, and which is different. A lot of rentals you're seeing in the market are really using builder grade finishes. We've gone a step up. In addition, we've gone larger. I have a 3-bedroom townhouse that is 1,958 square feet, and I have my 2-bedroom townhouse, which is 1,630 square feet. So I wanted to really give good livability in these units. And by the way they're stacked, I've really helped mitigate the cost of construction, because if you think about it, all of my foundation, the roofing, the framing, and the exterior architectural fenestrations are divided by 2 units instead of 1. So it's really helped us on the cost factor, something we didn't foresee in 2018, but today is really important. So from now on, the majority of our rental communities are going to feature this new stack product that we've created. And we're really excited about bringing it to the market in numerous other places.
That sounds great. One of the advantages of having a real estate show for 11 years is that we've ridden through a bunch of trends. And there was a long time where we were talking about some more simple living and more minimal housing, these tiny houses and all that. I feel like we're moving away from that again. And again, I think that may be a pandemic influenced disruption to that trend. Because Carol, we've had other people this month talk about more space. More space is something that they're beginning to think about. So I think we're pinging back to that side of the trends. Fascinating stuff. Jim, thinking more about the company, any new locations that you're building in or looking at, or any new product that we haven't already talked about? Where are things going?
Yeah, so out of the 465 future units we have in the works right now, so 3 of them are in Gwinnett County. We have 1 coming up potential in Dawson. We have 1 coming up in the city of Fayetteville, and another one coming up in DeKalb County. So we are very encouraged with these new communities, and looking forward to making some good announcements next year.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and apparently the 200 people, I think you said, that are on your waiting list are looking forward to you making some announcements too, so they can find something to lease. Well, What else? I know that you've got a lot going on this year, so I'm assuming that you're going to have a lot going on next year. What does 2022 look like for you?
2022 is looking really robust. So we are very excited about 2022. We've been working hard this year and really laying the groundwork for 2022. So with, almost 1,900 lots we have in the works right now, deals we're finishing up in the futures. But, I fully expect we're going to add to that between now and year end. We'll add a couple new projects to this list. So 2022 is really going to be a busy year for us. We're going to be developing a lot of lots, and by the end of next year, we'll start construction on several new homes in these communities. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing more about it. So looking forward to that conversation to see how 2022 is treating you guys. Jim, about out of time. So before we let you go, should anyone need to connect with you and learn more about everything happening at Parkland, where do they go?
Visit our website. It is parkland.com. Has all of our contact info, some lists of some of our old communities that we've worked on. We actually need to update our website to include all our new communities we have. But please visit there, and my contact info is on the website. If you need me for anything, please reach out. Happy to talk.
Jim Jacoby, president of Parkland Residential. Jim, as always, sir, good to have you. Thanks again for stopping by and joining us. Continued good luck and good fortune.
Thank you. The pleasure's all mine again. Happy birthday. Very happy.
Thank you for that.
All right. Well, that wraps this week's All About Real Estate edition. On behalf of our show sponsor, New American Funding, my co-host, Carol Morgan, I am Todd Schnick. That is all the time that we have for today. Thank you for tuning in and listening. And we look forward to seeing you again right here tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Atlanta Real Estate Forum Radio is made possible by Denim Marketing, the publisher of Atlanta Real Estate Forum, Atlanta's favorite source for real estate and home building news. Denim Marketing is a comfortable fit, like your favorite pair of jeans. Denim Marketing tailors marketing strategies to meet your specific needs and niche. Try them on for size. They will work to create a perfect fit for your company's marketing program. Call them at 770-383-3360 or send an email to info@denimmarketing.com. For more information on Atlanta Real Estate Forum Radio or to inquire about being a guest, contact info@atlantarealestateforum.com. Check out the radio show by visiting atlantarealestateforum.com or by listening to the show on your favorite podcast app. And if you enjoyed today's broadcast, we'd sure appreciate a rating and review on iTunes. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time on Atlanta Real Estate Forum Radio.